Hey guys, it's Shelly and I'm just trying to get this camera right. I'm sorry if I'm sideways. I can't seem to get it to stand up the other way. Why does this never work for me, right? Good morning. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm trying to use this lamp at a hotel and it's not cooperating at all. You can't turn your phone while recording. Oh my gosh. Okay, there, that's a little better, right? Okay, hey guys, this is Shelly. Good morning, Nancy. Thanks for tuning in. For those of you that don't know me, I'm a psychic medium, which means I have abilities. I don't even know where the camera is, so I'm probably looking all over the place. I'm sorry. So hi, Tina. Hi, Kim. So I have intuitive abilities, meaning, yeah, I know sometimes when things are going to happen. I don't know everything. People seem to think that. Why don't psychics win the lottery? Why don't they heal people? You know, we don't just know everything, guys. I wish, but we don't. I mean, we only know certain things, random things at random times, which make no sense at all, and I don't know why. But that's how it works. Things just pop in my head, and out of nowhere, I'll say something, and my son will say, hey, I was just talking about that, or thinking about that, or I don't know, just weird stuff. So anyway, that was kind of a side note. I got sidetracked. I am in, where am I? Columbia, Maryland, and I have readings today here. So I'm excited about that. The readings supposedly are going to be all day. There's a lot of them. So when that happens, I try to prepare in the morning. You know, I get up early. I do my meditation. Hi, Stacy. You're trying to trap a dog that's been out. I can't click the see more while I'm doing the video, so I'm not sure what you're asking. Exactly, Stacy, I'm sorry. I have helped during readings find lost pets. Do I help find lost pets or find lost people or anything like that? Here's the story behind that, guys. I do not want to be wrong. Not that my ego is too big. It's I don't want to be wrong when the cops are looking for somebody's missing son or husband or, you know, those kind of things. I don't want to lead them down the wrong path, because if I do, it stalls the investigation. So yes, sometimes I have FBI agents or police officers call and do phone readings and ask me about cases they're working on. They know that I'm doing the best I can with the guides that I have as of that moment. And a lot of times I have actually solved murders and unsolved cases. At the same time, I don't feel comfortable, you know, with a family calling me, and I don't want to stall the investigation, and I just don't want to be wrong, because I know I'm not always right. No psychic is right. If they tell you they're right 100% of the time, they're lying. So I don't always find missing people, or pets are a little different. While I know they're like babies, I don't feel quite as like, you know, the pressure's on. So I have helped locate and find missing pets, whether they're passed or whether they're still living. I can usually tell people, hi, Amanda. So, Stacy, do you see me getting her? I wouldn't know that. I would have to call in your guides. That's a common misconception for me, at least in my ability. I don't just know things. That's what I was saying in the beginning. I actually do a reading with someone, call in their spirit guides, they're called. You're assigned spirit guides before you're born, and they, with you through your life, they give you those gut feelings and try to guide you. And so when you do a reading with me and you have questions like, where's the missing dog? Will I find her? Should I take this job? I don't know that stuff, guys. Actually, your guides do, and that's where, you know, that's where I kind of get the answers. So that's kind of how that works. So I just wanted to talk about some stuff that happened in a recent reading. 2 recent readings especially come to mind because you guys like hearing these stories, and I do too. It amazes me when people give me the feedback. So I did a reading with a gentleman this past week, I believe, and during his reading, I told him that there was a younger energy coming through that had taken their own life and passed unexpected and out of nowhere. And he said he didn't know anyone. And then he said, wait, could they come through right away? Well, I've had them come through the same day they passed. It's crazy. So I explained to him they could. And he said, well, I believe that's I think he said cousin, I want to say, or nephew, distant relative, sort of. He said, that just happened yesterday, and I don't even know the details. So I told him, well, it was injury to the head. And he took his own life, basically. And I don't remember all the messages. He validated with other things. I think he might have given me someone else's name in his family, things like that. So after we get off the phone, I go on to my next reading. He's texting my husband, John, because he wants to schedule to see me in person. And when he texts John, he says, you know, I want to see Shelly in person. I just had a great phone reading. As he's texting him, this family of his cousin or whoever that just passed the day before texts him back and says, hey, here's more details. He shot himself in the head. And he was like, oh my God. So I had his cousin coming through telling me this before the family even knew what happened, because it was the day before. Hi, Audrey. Welcome to the family. So I was blown away. I think he was blown away. He was taken aback. He said he's done readings before and they're always good, but this was like so unexpected. He didn't even think about his cousin coming through because he had just passed. Amanda, okay, when you guys ask me, do you get messages from anyone on the other side for me? No. I would have to connect with your guides, your angels, or your past loved ones in a reading to get messages. Does that mean I don't randomly walk through the grocery store and pick up things? I do, but it's very rare. I've learned to block that. Nobody wants to live their life that way. So the way it kind of works is that I have to be either on the phone doing a reading with you or in person and call in your loved ones. It's a whole process. It's not like I just see you and boom, your cousin's in my head. I mean, yes, that can happen, and it has happened to me. I went up to strangers. It's just not common. You see that on TV shows because they're letting it happen. I actually block it. I don't want to spend my life getting dead people talking to me. I'm sure you understand that. So no, I would never. I can't say never because this is not a science, but I would very rarely be on Facebook giving a message and boom, somebody comes through. I would have to physically connect on purpose. It's a whole process. Then I might get messages for you. Hi, Donna. Hi, Kristen. Okay. So that kind of answers some of the questions you guys have had. I've also been getting a lot of questions about maybe you think you're intuitive. Weird things have been happening. You see things before they happen, or you have weird dreams. All of these questions. Everyone could have intuitive ability. I think everyone has it in different, strengths. So some people, like my hubby, nothing. I mean, he's lucky if he kind of knows who's going to call when the phone rings or something. Some people have it like very strong. Some people can harness it and use to connect and things like that, like I do. And some people it's better just for their personal life. I can tell you when you have this ability strong, you really can't use it for yourself. I don't think it's a gift, just like singers are given a great voice or doctors have the ability to heal. I don't try to put myself on their level, but it's similar in that we don't really get to use it for ourselves. It's more for other people. And so it is a gift and I appreciate it. I'm blessed to have it, but it can be a nightmare too. You guys have probably seen me talk about that. It's not always good. When I'm in the car taking a car drive, I don't get to enjoy the scenery because I'm seeing all the bad stuff, the car accidents, the people jumping off the bridge, all the bad stuff that's happened. So it's not always balloons and ponies to have this gift. Another misconception is that, oh my God, you're doing this many readings a week at this much money. You must be making $1 million. It's not like that at all. There's a lot of money that goes into this. The traveling alone, hotels, $800-900 a weekend, because I have to have a suite where there's a separate room to do readings. You guys don't want to sit on my bed, right? If I rent a room, it's even more money. Like a conference room, it's ridiculous. To get my ads on Facebook, and I have to put ads. Facebook has manipulated the system in a way that unless I pay for an ad, you're probably not seeing it. So that's like $1,000 a month. And I'm not exaggerating. Then there's gas money. There's the time I put into answering people, doing videos like this. My husband, John, he doesn't get paid at all. And he does all the scheduling, inquiries, fees. I couldn't possibly handle that in the readings. So I think sometimes people don't really think about what goes into it. They just see the price and think, wow, that's ridiculous. You're trying to scam people. Sorry, there's a... And it's really not like that. I mean, the truth of the matter is, I can only do so many readings a week. This is draining. So I don't do like nonstop readings all week long like people think. I don't even do 40 hours a week in readings. I maybe spend, 10 hours a week doing readings, maybe a little more when I do weekends. So yeah, nobody understands that how expensive it is to run this business and how much we work for free, because John's answering thousands of inquiries, emails, scheduling, reminder calls. He gets the payments. He does a lot and he gets paid zero. So I have to charge what I charge. Trust me, if I could hit the lottery, I wouldn't charge. I would still do readings. I would love to help people for free. And occasionally I will try to, but it's not fair to help one person when someone else is just as, in need. Everybody needs this, whether it's connecting with loved ones or guidance about their life. I've had people that are suicidal. I've had to call the suicide hotline in other countries even. There's a lot that goes into this behind the scenes that people don't really realize. So my fees are fair. I found out that someone went to another medium. I'm not going to bash them or mention their name, but they did pay $900 for 45 minutes. It was timed, so they had to leave when the timer went off. I don't ever time my readings. I'm not going to rush anyone. I feel like this is something that, you know, for the most part, I hold them as long as I can, and you can take as long as you need, because why should you feel rushed in this? I don't understand the whole set it to a timer. I'm not going to kick your loved ones and guides out because beep, the timer went off, and I'm not going to pretend they're here when they're not so that you have exactly X amount of minutes. So I don't time them. How much I charge? Oh my God, Rachel, my fees are all over the place because I do base the reading time, and like if it's in the mornings on a Monday or Tuesday, you're going to pay less money for a phone reading than you would in person on a weekend. I mean, that just kind of makes sense. I do emergency readings where people can get in like within 24 hours. I know, Rebecca, I know this is expensive and some people can't afford it. I'm not even lying about that. I think it's one of those things where I understand the fee is kind of high and not everyone can afford it. People save up for months sometimes. They only get to do one a year, and some people do them every month. But they're as fair as I can make them and still make a living and support my family. Because as I was saying, there's a lot of money and time goes into this, and we make less than we did when we both had traditional jobs. And that is the truth. So we are not making a killing on this. And I think when people see medium fees, they think, oh, you're taking advantage of grieving people or people in need. It's not like that. It is just not like that. So I hope you guys understand that. I tried to explain it. No, I don't have to explain it, but I would want to know. Like, I would probably think the same thing. That's ridiculous, but it's really not. I pay my accountant double what my readings cost. And that's because I have to, because I'm too dumb to do business taxes by myself. So that's a little bit about the fees. I'm throwing a lot of stuff out there, but I just wanted to answer your question. So if you have a question, chime in. Tell me what your question is. It cannot be specific about you, your life, your loved ones. The phone readings vary. That's what I was saying, Barbara. The fees are all over the place. If you do a morning reading or an evening reading or a weekend reading or an emergency reading or an in-person reading or each location, New York, I'm paying more for the hotel, way more, like double. So the readings may be higher there than they might be if you come see me when I'm in Winchester, Virginia, small town. So I can't really quote those fees because they are really all over the place. They're on the website. They're all listed out. You just click like you're going to schedule, but you don't have to, and it gives you the fees and choices. That's for phone readings. In person or on the website, or you can always call or text John. His number is 717-816-1258. Thank you, Cindy, for saying it's well worth it. It means a lot to me because this is not an easy job, and people pay more sometimes to go to the movies with a family and go out to dinner, but they just don't. Oh, Cheryl, the range is anywhere from $200 to $350, basically, for a reading. And that could be a 3-hour reading. That reading might only last 40 minutes because I'm not going to fake and pretend they're here, and I'm going to hold them as long as I can. I never rush you. Can you hear or see those that have transitioned? Yes, that's what I do. I talk to dead people. I don't really hear their voice usually. It's more like my own thoughts, so it sounds like my own in my head, but it's not. I use energy. Not everyone uses energy. Everyone with ability does it differently. Some of them are not real. Some of them are. I shouldn't say not real. I hate when people say that. They're scamming, but not all of them. I mean, there's a lot of us that really do have this ability. I use energy, and I use that energy to connect with different dimensions. So either the psychics or the medium, meaning your loved ones past or your guides and angels. And that's why you can see I'm getting dehydrated. I should have brought my water over here. That's why I can do it over the phone, because when I do a reading, I don't really need to see you because this is all my head and energy, and I get thoughts and I just tell you what I'm thinking, and people know. I mean, there's no guessing here. There's no, oh, that's random or general. There's no, you could have looked that up. The stuff that I tell people, they tell me over and over and over again. There's no way you would have known these things. There's no way you're guessing. These are private, specific, intimate details that haven't been published anywhere. Sometimes the person doesn't even know and has to go confirm or verify it. People always say, oh, these days with Facebook, you can find anything. Okay, first of all, I never know your last name. I don't even deal with the scheduling. Sometimes I don't even know your first name. And on top of that, the stuff that I tell you is so random and out there, and there's just no way. And most people know that. When did you realize you could do this? Well, Cheryl, I've written a lot of blogs. They're on my website about that, but I'll just tell you, I've had it since I was little. I had imaginary friends when I was little, and their names were Kansas and Birdie. And my mom just thought they were imaginary friends. I don't know anyone who has an imaginary friend named Kansas. So clearly, this has been going on for a long time. I've always had weird stuff happen to me. I didn't really realize I could communicate back and forth until, I don't know, my 30s maybe. And I didn't realize I could do it for a living and started really doing it until about 9-10 years ago. How can I get a reading? Okay. There's a lot of ways to get a reading. If you have a lot of people and you want me to come to your area, depending on where it is, that's how the fee is based. If you're in Colorado and I'm in Pennsylvania, you're going to pay more because I need flights and all kinds of stuff. It takes more of my time away from the office and my family versus if you're in Maryland and I'm in Pennsylvania. So those fees vary. If you are coming to somewhere I'm already going to be, which is always posted on my Facebook page and my website, those fees are listed and you can come see me. I've had people fly from Chicago to Pennsylvania just to do a reading. They said it was worth it. They drive from all over. If you prefer a phone reading, you want to be at your home in your pajamas, you can do that too. If you do a phone reading, you can schedule that online. The best thing to do when you have questions is either go to the website or call or text my husband, John. He handles this. He's used to it. He knows what he's doing. His number is 717-816-1258. He can answer almost anything. And if he doesn't know the answer, he'll come to me. And he handles fees, scheduling, setting up me traveling, all of that stuff. When you see those locations listed, unless it says live audience show, I'm just sitting in a room like this, back-to-back people come in and I do a reading with you. It's that simple. That's how it works. Hi, Linda. So the website is www.shellyfrey.com, SHELLYFREY.com. I think you can get to it straight from the Facebook page. There are blogs on there. A lot of people find it interesting. There's a lot of blogs. There's a lot of reviews on there. There's all kinds of videos on there. So you can pretty much get a feel for who I am. I always say, for those of you who are new, I am a normal person. I have 3 kids. I'm a mom. I'm a wife, 2 dogs and a cat. I have normal struggles, normal issues, just like everyone else. There's nothing weird or special about me other than the fact that I can talk to other dimensions, including past loved ones and your guides. I don't know why I can. I was born with it. I believe, and my dad told me just not that long ago, in the last few years, that his grandmother could heal people. I don't seem to have that ability, but it does seem to be hereditary when you have these paranormal, for lack of a better word, it does seem to be hereditary. Hi, Claudia. Good morning. I'm sorry if I'm missing you guys. I'm trying to look down there and look at the camera. So today, anyway, back to where I am. I'm in Columbia, Maryland for the first time. We are booked solid. Thank God. Thank you, Columbia and surrounding areas. It's always nerve-wracking when someone wants me in a new area because they have to have enough people to make it worthwhile for me to pay for a hotel, pay for gas, travel down there, leave my house. So yes, animals I can connect with, by the way, Cheryl. Yes, past love animals and living animals I can read. Anyway, so Columbia got booked really fast where I don't think we could squeeze in maybe one more person and that's it. I'd have to stay an extra day. So that's good. Sometimes I go to an area and someone schedules me and it's hard to really get the word out. And that's all about Facebook. I don't know, the algorithm stuff. That's not my department. And it's not easy to understand, but you don't even know I'm coming. And so we don't get booked and I have to cancel. That's very rare, but it has happened. So that's kind of how that works. I don't just randomly select areas. Someone has to call, pay a deposit to cover the hotel, have X amount of people that they know are going to do readings, and then I'll go announce it for everyone else to come do readings. Usually at the hotel. If you want it at your house or your work, I do that too. Hi, Tanya. Mwah. So Tanya, she's a perfect example. This is what I mean when I say welcome to the family. Okay, so I met her through a first reading a long time ago. Somebody came through, validated really well. She's a very level-headed person. She's not just going to jump and think it's real. I think through the reading, she realized it was. She has done readings ever since, and I consider her a good friend, if not family. So that's why I say welcome to the family, because while I may not remember your readings, most of you, the more I talk to you and see you, the more I remember you. Kathleen Mcavoy, hi, you're another one, honey. I love you. And my Lindsay, which is her daughter. And these are all people I've gotten to know from readings. They didn't know me from Adam. They scheduled their phone reading or they're in person, got to know me, they do them regularly, and they become more like family to me. And I love that. That's why I tell people, you can add me on my personal page. Once you've done a few readings and you know I'm legit and I'm not looking you up, because people worry about that, and I get it. You become like family or friends. And so that's why there are so many of you that I consider friends. In fact, I've often talked about having like a Christmas party or summer party where we can all get together and just hang out. I think that would be so fun. And thank you for saying I blew you away. I missed who it was saying that. If you want to raise your hand or say it was you, but thank you. Those reviews on Facebook mean the world to me. People schedule because they see that you were a stranger, you saw me like this, and you were like, wow, I'm going to do this. And you gave it a chance. And so you've kind of paved the way for them. Now they know, wow, you know, 1 or 2 people I could be paying them to write reviews, which people say to me all the time. There's thousands of them on there. I'm not paying thousands of people to write reviews and make all this stuff up. That would just be crazy. And if you're that much of a cynic, maybe you shouldn't be doing a reading at all. I understand, you know, skepticism the first or second time. You don't know me. Hi, Candace. Thank you. It was Candace. Thank you, honey. Erica, hi. You were praying to read from your dad. A boy came through that was your fiance. Okay, yeah. I can't read the rest of that again. It says see more. But I'm guessing Erica's saying that she had a reading, it was good, but it wasn't who she wanted maybe the first time. But then after that, maybe it was. That happens. I can't control who comes through and neither can they. Sometimes it's about who I just happen to connect with the strongest. So a lot of you are asking because you just joined how to schedule a reading. You know, guys, phone readings are just as good as in person, I promise. Some people say they're better. Sometimes people will do alternate. They'll see me in person somewhere and do a reading, then they'll do the phone, and sometimes the phone's better and sometimes the in person. It's kind of all over the place. I always say my best answer to you to these questions is there is no answer, because this isn't a science. And while I can tell you my best guess based on all of these, I can only tell you that I don't really ever know what's going to happen. How could I? I'm not God. I do the best I can for you guys. Thank you for saying it's worth every penny. That means a lot to me because I take it very personal. I know I shouldn't feel like I need to prove myself, but I'm my own worst skeptic and critic, I can tell you. So I want to know what these things means, and I will push your loved ones to give me specifics and explain themselves if it doesn't make sense. You're not going to get on the phone with me and I'm going to say, you're going to travel. That's never going to happen. That's not how this works. Phone readings are amazing. Can't wait to have one. Thank you, Erica. I know you guys that do these regular phone readings, it means the world to me because we build a relationship. Your loved ones feel comfortable. Your guides feel comfortable. Each reading is better than the last, which is why I have so many that do them every month, every 2 months, and you can schedule them out online, I think for almost like the whole year. And it's smart to do that because they do fill up quick sometimes. Sometimes I'm like 4 months out. This time of year, it's a little slower. It's like 2 months out. But sometimes it's like 4 or 5 months. All mine have been over the phone and well worth it. Thank you, Danielle. Thank you so much for saying that because those phone readings are just as good. The only difference is you can't see me. You can't see my facial expressions. I thought about doing Skype, but guys, I'm a normal person. So if I'm at home working, do I really want to get a shower, get dressed, put makeup on, or do I want to sit in my pajamas with no bra and look like crap? That's the truth. That's me. So I have to think, okay, if I'm doing Skype, then it's going to take me an extra 2 hours in the morning to get ready and things like that. So I guess my question would be, if I start doing Skype, are you guys going to pay more for that? Because it's going to take me a lot longer to get ready and get it set up. My internet's not always the best either, so then we could lose connection. So for now, oh, thank you, Tanya. Phone is fine. For now, it's just easier for me to do them by phone. And I'm just trying to tell you that if you're offended by me talking about things like my bra, I'm sorry. Yes, I'm very spiritual. Yes, I believe in God. I am not a saint. I am not an angel, and I am not God. I am a normal person. So yes, I'm going to swear sometimes. Yes, I might say things about my boobs or my bra. You know, I'm normal. I'm not going to put on this big show and pretend to be somebody I'm not. It's just not who I am. Do you pay up front? Okay. For phone readings, you never pay up front. The only thing I ask is please don't hold a spot unless you're sure you're going to have the money and the time, and short of an emergency, you're going to do it. Because people wait months for these spots and it's just not fair to hold a spot. You don't pay anything when you schedule a phone reading. In-person readings, you pay a deposit. It's a small amount. It's like $50, sometimes $75, depending on the location and the total fee. But you do that to hold the spot because we're now paying for a hotel and all this stuff besides you taking a spot away from someone else. Oh, I love you too, Danielle. Your husband was a skeptic and blown away. Oh my God, I love that. Thank you for sharing that. Do you know how many times people tell me that? Why are men skeptics? I don't get it. It's like, not all men, but I have noticed 90% of you are women. And the 10% of men I got, a lot of them came from women saying, you got to do this. I convinced them during the reading, and then they realize and they're a client for life kind of thing, and they're a believer. I don't know why. I don't know why they don't believe it. My husband, John, he did, but to be honest, he wanted it proof. He put me through the ringer. He knew weird things happened around me. He believed me. But when I started telling him I can talk, he's like, okay, I got to see this. So he had someone come through that I didn't know from school. We didn't go to school together. I didn't know anything about this. Basically, he pulled out his yearbook, covered up the names, and out of all the kids in his yearbook said, pick the kid you're talking to, and I pointed right to him. True story. Then he knew, okay. Not that he thought I was lying. I think he was more concerned I was losing my mind. What is it that I charge for a reading? Why would you charge? Well, I just went over this, Susan, but I guess you're kind of new to the video. If you go back and watch, I explained it. I charge because I can't work for free. That's like asking a hairstylist or a doctor or a singer, why do you charge for your gift? Everyone has gifts. This is how I make a living. If I were not to charge, I would not be able to do it. I'd have to go work full-time at another job. It is my job. Thank you, Tanya. Yes. And it's not only my job, it's my husband's job, because I can't handle all these inquiries, so he does. So now we have two people working for one salary, and we're paying for travel and Facebook ads, and all the time I'm doing stuff like this for free and explaining things about the other side, helping the police. There's a lot that goes into this that we're not paid for. How people can do readings for free is either that their husband or somebody's making enough money somewhere else to pay the bills, and they're just doing it more as a hobby. For me, it's a career. I put my life, soul, everything into this. I'm 24/7 on in one way or another, even though I'm not always watching readings. So that's why I charge. And I think it's kind of really well put. Somebody put on a review on my Facebook page one time, or my website, and they said, how come we don't question why an accountant charges $300 an hour? Or we don't question why a doctor charges $10,000 to save a life? Yes, they went to school, some of them. Some of these gifts, like musicians and athletes, they're born with. They still get paid buku money. I'm not making anywhere near that. I'm just trying to make a living and pay my bills and cover the expenses of the business. Sometimes people will say to me, this really kills me too. I'll be going to, let's say, I'll call it Philly, and I'm like 30-minute drive outside of Philly. And they'll say, when are you coming to Philly? Not 30 minutes away. Are you kidding me? I drove 9 hours to get here for you. If you can't drive 30 minutes to talk to your past loved one, I'm not trying to be a bitch, but maybe it's not for you, or maybe I'm not the medium for you, because, I just don't understand that. And I hate when, I know you're not meaning it, Claudia, you said every time you go to parties, you can't get a reading. I don't call them parties. First of all, I do very little of those. Those I call groups, because who's partying about losing someone? You know what I mean? So it's not really a party. Secondly, a message from heaven is priceless. Thank you, Lori. I agree. 100%. If I could connect with my own family the way that I connect with your families and get that kind of validation, I would save up for my life if that's what it took. Thank you for sharing my husband's number, Erica. Yes, 717-816-1258. So these party group things, most of what you'll see on my website, whether it's me traveling, whether it's phone readings, those are individual. There's not an audience. There's not a group of 20 or 10 people, unless you want it that way. You can get it if that's what you want. And when I do those, pretty much everyone there typically has someone come through, but some energies are stronger than others. So you can do it, and maybe people you're sitting with, their loved ones just happen to be a stronger connection. Sometimes it's about personality, who needs to be heard more, but not always. Sometimes it's just the way it is. For whatever reason, they needed to hear that message that day over you. I'm sorry to say that. And I know you're talking about another psychic, probably in other groups, but that's how it works. As I said, I don't do a lot of, I call them open groups, where there's like a lot of people, because I know people aren't going to get read. And who wants that? I don't care if you're only paying $20. Who wants to pay $20 and sit there and watch other people's loved ones come through? It might be interesting, but you're going to be hurt when you leave that yours didn't. Please don't take that personal. The loved ones can't control who comes through, ever. They have no control over that. Okay. It's always a pleasure to watch you. Oh, thank you so much. One day I can get that reading, and you will. That's what I was saying. Sometimes you do have to save up. Sometimes you have to cut corners elsewhere. Sometimes you have to think about, okay, am I spending money to go out to eat once a month that I don't need to? Or could I not go to the casino? Or could, it's a priority. Whatever is important to you. It's all about priorities, I think. And I never push anyone into doing a reading. In fact, the opposite. I tell you, if you can't afford it, you don't feel comfortable, you're cynical, not skeptical, you feel like I'm full of crap, don't schedule. I mean, no one's making you schedule. I had a lady the other day that scheduled for this location. John sent her the text reminder, and she kind of went off on him. She had paid a deposit and everything, that she thought he called her office the same time. And she wanted to know how he got her work number, because some John called her office. That didn't even happen. He didn't call her office. He would have no reason to. He sends text reminders if you have text. So I don't know what that was about. We put up with a lot of cynics, skeptics, people that get angry. Maybe it was just a mistake on her part, and no worry, these things happen. But he does put up with a lot, and he does not make a penny. I always tell him, yes, you do, because he's the brains behind this. I just do the readings, which, yes, that's very hard, but everything else he handles. So if you were to schedule a phone reading, what if nobody comes through? That has never in my life happened, Cheryl. If nobody came through, you wouldn't pay. That doesn't happen. Now, could someone come through you don't want to hear from, like a teacher from when you were in 5th grade? Yes. They cannot control who I catch. So anyone you're connected to, indirectly or directly, can come through. Most people, I would say 99% of my readings, they get somebody they want. Yes, there are people like ex-in-laws, ex-boyfriends. People can come through, but somebody comes through, and it's them. They'll prove themselves. You'll take notes. If it's a phone reading, you take notes. If it's in person, I take the notes. That's kind of how it works. You would not believe the people that have come through during readings, and they prove themselves. I mean, they give me stuff. There's just no way I would know. And they're like, why in the world? Because they can't, for me, and I can only speak for my ability. For me, they can't. Do you do combined readings of loved ones and future? Yes, I do. If you want both a connection with past loved ones and a connection with your spirit guides about your life and future, you can combine those. I mean, you're paying for both. It is double the fee, because you're getting, basically, I have to not schedule as many people that day in order to do that. It basically takes more energy to connect with the 2 dimensions. And so because of that, and there are a lot of people that do combine them. Some people alternate every month. They'll do psychic one month, medium the other. But because it takes a lot more out of me, and it's harder to do, harder to hold, all of that, I have to schedule less people. So I have to charge more for it. Some people do. The main difference is in the medium reading, it's a gamble. We don't know for sure who's coming through. While most people get who they want, there's always that chance. Number 2, they don't talk about your life. Once in a while, I have them shock me and they'll guide you or tell you something. But if you have questions about, should I marry this guy? Should I sell the house? What happened to this person when they die? Where's this body? Who killed this person? Loved ones don't answer that for me. Their job when I do a reading is to validate, prove themselves, let you know if there's anything unsettled about their passing or between you, and if they're okay. Most of the reading, especially the first 2 times, is proving themselves, giving me specifics about themselves, their family, anything to make you know that it's really them. That's just what they do for me. A psychic reading, your guides can tell you anything at all about yourself, except when you're going to die. And they don't sugarcoat. I always ask you, is it okay to tell you everything? Because they will tell you everything, very direct. Tanya says she's been going through a lot the past year, and me and my guides have helped tremendously and spot on. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. That means so much to me. And I worry about you guys. Like, I might not remember everything about readings, but I might know the overall what's going on. I might know what I'm trying to help you with. And I worry. Like, I literally pray for my clients all the time, because I want things to work out for you. I don't want you to schedule a reading and not find some kind of answers, peace, or happiness at the end. That's the whole point, even if it's short-lived. Look, because if you lost a loved one, you're going to be in pain. I can't take that away. But if I can make it a little better for 5 minutes, it was worth it. Oh, I've been rambling on and on. I'm sorry. I'm keeping you guys like so busy. Good morning, Lisa. So anyway, I wanted to just share that story I shared at the beginning about that phone reading, because that blew my mind and it blew his mind. There's things like that happen in every reading. Some I remember, some I don't. Somebody posted recently, if you look under visitor posts, you'll find a lot of people like you that have done readings, didn't know me, and then went on there and wrote about their reading with amazing stories. It blows my mind. I'm honored that you choose me, because I know there's a million people that claim they can do this. Some really can, some can't. I'm honored when you choose me, because this is a very personal thing that you're sharing with me, and it means a lot to me. Thank you, Erica. I'm glad I make you feel better. So with that being said, I have to get busy. I think people are going to start showing up today for readings. I think I told you I'm in Columbia. Next week, I'm in Vineland, New Jersey. And like 2 weeks after that, Winchester, Virginia. Sorry, I think I lost you guys. My phone went to somebody else. I am so sorry. I got a message, tried to clear it and clicked on it. See? Not perfect. Make mistakes. Anyway, Winchester, Virginia, Vineland, New Jersey, Long Island is finally in there. And please don't tell me, okay, I live on Long Island, but it's still a 2-hour drive. You know what? That's like an 8-hour drive for me. It's worth it, I promise, to drive there. So book those locations, guys, because for those of you that do have an appointment there for reading with me, if I don't get enough, I can't make it work. I have to cover my expenses in time. I just have to. So please spread the word. On the website, it lists all the upcoming locations. If you want me in your area, call or text my husband, John, 717-816-1258. This will be on Facebook. You can go back, rewatch it, get the number, website, shellyfrey.com. Where at in Vineland? When people ask me where at, it's always interesting to me. I'm in the town. It's not that big, and I'm not trying to be rude, but I can't tell you where because I've had issues with security. I'll just leave it at that. It's always at a hotel. It's always safe. I do the readings in a suite like I'm in right now. So I book a suite. The hotel doesn't even know. It's not like a show or anything. I book a suite. I let you guys know. One at a time, you'll meet John, my husband, in the lobby. He'll bring you up to me to do your reading. The prices are listed on the website, Tina. And so when he brings you up, we'll do our reading. When you're done, you'll leave. Next person comes up. I've been doing this for years this way. I have not had a problem. If you call the hotel, no, they're not going to know I'm doing a show because they're not involved. I can't afford that. Oh my God. Do you know how much they charge if I were to rent a conference room and do a show kind of thing? So I just rent the room. With that being said, I'm usually at a decent hotel in a safe neighborhood. We've actually worked with travel agents and companies. We don't always just do it on our own. So we kind of know where we're going. We know it's going to be safe. Also, sometimes it changes last minute. Like when we go to confirm like 3 days before, I would never go more than 10 minutes away from where I told you. So if I say Vineland, it's going to be Vineland. I might have to change the hotel last minute. So the night, Thursday before, so your reading will either be Saturday or Sunday. The Thursday before, my husband sends you a text. It lists the hotel, the address, all the information for you. We just can't publish it. I used to, and we had a lot of security issues. People are crazy. I had stalkers and everything else, so we just can't list it for my safety and yours. Hope that makes sense. So anyway, if you're interested in just seeing where I'm coming, how much it costs, you want to reserve a spot, please don't click reserve a spot and fill it out unless you're actually holding a spot. For me, when you click that, you're holding a spot. It pushes other people away and only allows so many. But if you do that, then John will get a hold of you to discuss arrival time and give you all the details. So shellyfrey.com or call or text 717-816-1258 and talk to John. Okay. Thank you. You're exactly right. Doctors don't charge for free. So why would I charge? Why would I not charge? I don't know. People for some reason think that this job should be for free. Not everybody, but some people do. And I will never understand that. And they'll say, well, can I get a 5-minute example or free reading? Well, that's like, oh, thank you. Someone said I'm better than John Edwards. That's a compliment. I love him and he recommends me, I've heard. So thank you. I can't imagine calling up a hair salon and saying, excuse me, can you cut my hair for 5 minutes for free and let me see if I like it? Like, sometimes people need to really think and rationalize, I think, what they're asking. Or I'll have someone come on Facebook, message me privately and say, can you chat? Most of the time, I try to run my own Facebook. Often I have other people running it and answering questions, and I don't have time to chat. I'm not going to be able to tell you everything. You need to schedule a reading. I love you too, Linz. You know that. You're my Lindsay. Anyway, I have to get off here, guys. I could talk to you all day. I'm going to do this more often so you guys can put your questions up here and I can answer them live. Please, please, please schedule your phone readings, schedule your in-person readings, write your reviews, read the visitor posts, check out the website. Okay, thank you guys. There's like 50 some at one point on here. Thank you. Please share this video so other people can see it. It means a lot to me. And comment, let me know if you liked it, what questions you have, things like that. And I'll try to do another one maybe tomorrow or another day. All right, love you guys. Have a great Saturday.